Hey, let's stop sabotaging our health. There is so much out there that's out of our control. But when it comes to our health, we are learning that about 75 to 90% of disease is really associated to lifestyle and environment. And there are some things that we can do to reduce our risk of disease and enjoy optimal, vibrant health. So, today we're going to talk about some ways that you cannot sabotage your health. Let's get started because I've got some real simple tips that you can do in the short time that we're together. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for being here today. I'm Dr. Nozella, Doctor of Education, passionate about empowering others to achieve the quality of life that they deserve. Professionally, I'm a doctor of emeritus director of a university urban extension office where I manage 2 federal nutrition programs for underserved audiences. I've taught for over 15 years in the schools as a nutrition educator. I'm a professor, a writer, a speaker, a researcher, and a consultant. And like many women, I struggle to live a balanced life. One thing I learned is that I have to be intentional, even protective about taking care of me. And that means really taking care of my body. I have to invest in myself first. And I believe my body is a temple of God. I only get one. You know, I was introduced to essential oils over 20 years ago. Many of you know my story about how I struggled to get answers to my health problems as a child, but almost 38 years ago, I found a doctor who really believed that diet and lifestyle really affected your health. Something back then that was really considered to be quackery. And that kind of started my journey. I made some dietary changes. I started looking into natural ways to address health issues. I started looking at herbs. And then a friend suggested that I try RC. I was like, RC? Well, it was a blend of eucalyptus oils. And it was so effective for this respiratory discomfort that I was having a lot of trouble with. And I was really hooked on it. It really did help. But to be honest, I thought it was too much money. Didn't want to spend that money like that. And so I tried a lot of different brands that were labeled natural, pure, and all that kind of stuff. And then I learned that they were not the same. I ended up wasting my money. Some of the things actually hurt me. And as I learned more and more about what I'm going to be teaching you today, I was able to get more and more relief from my respiratory issues. I had damaged my health through years and years of using toxic products. And at one time, I was even diagnosed with asthma. But I'm happy to say today that although things aren't perfect, okay, the doctor has taken asthma off of my charts and told me to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'll be sharing some of those things with you today. What we're going to talk about are some concerns that we should have about our air quality, some concerns that you should have about the personal care products you use, and some concerns about your cleaning products. And then I really do have some very simple solutions to help you reduce some of the risk to your health. But first of all, I want to stress that this is not intended to replace the advice of your healthcare provider or to diagnose, to treat, to prevent, or to cure any disease. This is intended for educational purposes only. I am a doctor of education and very passionate about empowering you to have all the information and resources that you need to make the best choices for your health and those that you love. I like to do the research. I like to check things out. And many of the things that I'll be sharing with you have been extremely helpful to me and my family and others. So let's start out. Let's talk about what's in your air. Without question, clean air improves your health, it will boost your immune system, and it reduces the stress on your lungs. And although we're hoping that this kind of global health crisis is on the downside, we're still approaching a season where we're going to be indoors a lot. There's still a lot of talk about ickies being in the air, and it's really important that you have quality air. In October of 2019, they did a study that showed that poor air quality was responsible for an additional 10,000 deaths per year. And according to the World Health Organization, air pollution is the world's largest single environmental health risk. It's responsible for more deaths than alcohol, malnutrition, and drugs. And we are learning that poor air quality really affects the brain of our children in the schools they're in. So let me ask you, do you think indoor air is better? Well, it's not. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, indoor air is 100 times more polluted than what is outdoors. In fact, indoor air pollution is one of the top 5 environmental risks to public health. What's sad is that most people don't even realize that they are the culprits in the toxic air quality of their houses. Many of the everyday products that they're using are sources of this air pollution. Let me just name a few and we'll talk about these. They'll come up again. Scented candles, air fresheners, personal care products, aerosol sprays, nail polish, perfume, gas stoves, ovens, dryers, cooking gases, VOCs, off-gassing from your furniture, when you get new furniture or building materials, your makeup, vaping products, fireplaces, household cleaners, disinfectants, and detergents. Other dangerous hidden indoor toxins include, of course, viruses, bacteria, dust mites, mold spores, pollen, and pet dander. All extremely harmful to our air quality. But there are some ways that you can improve it, some really simple ways. One, ban smoking in your home. Now, that also means that you'll want to get rid of using candles, because what we didn't know, I didn't know this, and I love candles, okay? I had them all through my house, and I didn't know it was just as if we were smoking in the house. And my kids had asthma, so it was something I really needed to do. Also, you want to make sure that you use high quality air filters. So check your furnaces and your air conditioners. Make sure you're changing those filters on a regular basis. And if you do have gas burning appliances, make sure that you have vents so you're venting that really well. Then one thing you can really do is switch out your toxic chemicals that are in the environment and use some people-friendly ones, okay? In Young Living, we kind of call this a ditch and switch. And we have over 600 health, wellness, and household products. It's possible to move towards a really toxic-free home easily just by slowly ditching what you're using for a more healthy product. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then one of my favorites and easiest for you to do is to learn how to diffuse. Learn how to diffuse 100% pure therapeutic essential oils. And please beware, not all essential oils are pure. I don't have time to go into some of the really specific research and technical things, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about why I specifically have stuck with Young Living. We'll go into that. But let's think just first why you need to diffuse. What does diffusing do when you're using those premium essential oils? They're much, much safer, as I said earlier, than candles. It helps to neutralize odors. It really promotes healthy air quality. It reduces the dust. It kind of forces it to go to the floor. It creates a really healthy ionized room, and it creates an uplifting environment. It also promotes better energy. We've talked about that in other classes. It supports your daytime focus. We talked about that in our classes on brain health. And it does support a more restful sleep. So it's another way of really helping not only just the air quality, but your overall health as well. Now, before I go on anymore, I do want to pause a minute and explain what I was saying about all essential oils not being equal. You can really do more damage to your air quality by diffusing oils that are adulterated, synthetic, or contaminated than if you just did nothing at all. So I don't want you to just go out and buy something and it's fragrance and perfume. You really will be causing problems in your home. Quality does matter. You want pure, high quality products that are more effective and they create the lasting results that you're looking for. And that is why, as I said earlier, I have gone back to Young Living essential oils, used them over 20 years, and mainly because they have this seed to seal Promise. They are the leader, actually, in the modern essential oil movement. All the other companies have begun to copy after them. They have set the standards for the quality of essential oils, which is really higher than what the government standards are, because they have standards for how they source their product. They have standards for that about the science that they use and the standards and research that they do. They create products for a purpose, not for product. And that is really important to me. Young Living owns their own farms, and when they partner with farms, they have a very stringent rules that everyone has to follow. As someone that's in the city, I try to get my products as close to the plants as I can, and that's what Young Living does. They go beyond and above and beyond the organic standards to provide natural products that work. Their land their farms use no pesticides. They hand weed their fields, and they test their essential oils many, many times in their own labs and also in outside labs. And if any batch of oil does not meet their high standards, it is rejected. It may be sold to another company, but they will not sell it to you. You can check out more about the Seed to Seal Promise at www.seedtoseal.com if you want to know more about that. We also want to just talk just a few minutes about safety and how to use essential oils. They are so versatile. I just love it. You can use them aromatically, and that's what you're doing when you're diffusing them. Just putting it on your hand, breathing it in, that's also just the diffuser that you carry with you, okay? But it's a positive way to affect your emotions when you use it that way. Let me just give you a real short science lesson. When you inhale the oils, the essential oil molecules travel through your olfactory bulb, and they trigger the limbic system in the center of your brain, and that stimulates your amygdala. The amygdala is that integrative center of emotions, your emotional behavior, your motivation. And that's why when you diffuse them, they're very effective in supporting your moods and encouraging your moods and the moods of those around you. So it's really excellent to diffuse, as well as that diffusing helps to purify the air. Now, you can also use your oils topically. When you apply the oils topically, you can put them right on Vitaflex points. You can put them on your wrists, your ears, your feet. They work really well there. I love to do it that way. And if you're new to oils, you may want to test to see about your sensitivity. So you may want to use a carrier oil like an olive oil or coconut oil, a vegetable oil, and then rub it on that way. Just to try it out at first, but they're really easy to use topically. And then what's really exciting about Young Living is we have oils that can be taken internally, okay? Now, it's important to read the label. The Young Living has internal dietary line that's called the Vitality line. Those oils all have a label that's white, and that means that they're generally recognized as safe, okay, by the FDA, and that lets you know that they can be ingested. They're safe for ingesting. If the label is solid, then like say we have a lemon oil that has a white Vitality label and a lemon oil that has the solid label. It's actually the same oil inside the bottle, but we just want people to have no doubt and be clear on which of our oils can be ingested. And so we have both labels, but the same oil. Now, just quickly, I want to give you 3 of my favorite blends that you can use in the diffuser to purify your air. And the reason I use these is because they do, the oils work together synergistically. And so these are blends that have several oils that have been shown to really help with air quality. So purification, it's kind of a blend of citronella, lemongrass, rosemary, tea tree, lavender, and myrtle, all in that one oil. Thieves, probably the most popular. You're going to hear a lot about it later. It has clove in it, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. If you do any kind of Google search research on these oils, you'll be amazed at how much they help with wellness, air quality, all those kind of things. And the last one I want to just tell you about is Citrus Fresh, because it's a blend of the citrus oils. We know citrus oils help to boost the immune system. And so this Citrus Fresh has orange, tangerine, mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, and spearmint in it all in one. So it's just really an excellent blend. But any of those in a diffuser would just be great ideas that I could give you to start out with. Let's spend a little time and talk about what's in your personal care products. The National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, they studied 2,989 ingredients in our products at home, and they found that 884 of those ingredients were toxic. 314 of them caused biological mutations, 218 caused reproductive problems, and 778 were toxic to the human body. 146 of them they knew caused cancer tumors, but they're still allowed in the US, even though they are banned from other countries around the world. 375 cause eye and skin irritations, and these chemicals are allowed in nearly every type of cleaning supplies that we use. Common things under your cabinets right now. Even organic cleaners have been known to have carcinogenics in them that are naturally carcinogenics, but they're still allowed to do that. 26 seconds after exposure, chemicals can be found in measurable amounts in the human body. And we know that the average woman applies 300 chemicals to her body a day, 80 of those before breakfast, okay? The top 10 dangerous chemicals in the home, again, let me reiterate, they come from air fresheners, cleaning supplies, dishwasher detergent, your laundry detergents, your dish soaps. Other dangerous spots include your health and beauty supplies, your personal care products, hairspray, gels, shampoos, deodorants, all of those kind of things have these toxins in it. And what happens is you do a little and the body starts to accumulate these toxins over time. So over the years, your body is overloaded. You may see it in something as catastrophic as cancer, but most of us feel it in little ways, like we're more tired, there's lethargy, there's inability to focus. We might have some sleep problems, some chronic inflammation. Maybe there's an unexplained pain, fibromyalgia, skin issues, acne, home imbalances, hot flashes, stress, anxiety, fear. It can show up in a lot of different ways. And during this time of the year, especially, we're under more stress. We tend to have busier schedules. We get less sleep. We compromise our diet. We have relationship challenges, and our bodies are more vulnerable to disease. And so it's really important to avoid as many toxins as you can to protect yourself and stay above the wellness line. So be aware, kind of, even when you're shopping around and you go into areas that have chemicals where the fragrances are really strong, and you're shopping, because even those can affect you a lot. But what you want to do is just look for ways that you can switch out some of these toxic products for ones that are more plant-based, and we'll talk about that. But let me give you just a list of the top 10 toxins to avoid. And I would encourage you, take a snapshot of this, start reading the labels and what's in your products. And unfortunately, they don't have to tell you everything that's in there, but these are the top 10 that you really need to look for. Synthetic colors, okay? Triclosan, toluene, the sunscreen chemicals, formaldehyde, fragrances, generally sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl sulfate, and then propylene glycol. Sometimes I get all tongue-tied with this, phthalates, and then parabens. These are all things that you want to be careful. Like triclosan is usually in your toothpaste, your antibacterial soaps, your deodorants, your laundry soap, your household cleaners. Toluene you'll find in nail polish, nail treatments, hair color bleaching products, stain removers. Formaldehyde you're going to find in your nail polish, your body washes, your conditioners, shampoos, cleaners, eyeshadows, okay, nail polishes, treatments, bedding, clothing, and furniture. Fragrances and all kinds of stuff, your conditioners, your shampoos, your body wash, your moisturizers, your laundry products, your air fresheners, candles, we talked about that. The SLS and the SLESs, those are again in your shampoos, your body wash cleansers, your mascara, your acne treatment type things, detergents. And then of course that propylene glycol is in your moisturizers, sunscreens, your makeup products often have them, conditioners, shampoo, hairsprays, mouthwash, deodorants, all kind of ointments. Look at the labels of these. Phthalates are in deodorants, perfumes, hairsprays, moisturizers, air fresheners, laundry detergent, and the parabens are in your makeup, your body washes, your detergent, your shampoos, your facial cleansers. It's in food as well, and some of the pharmaceutical products. So really read the label. But that's the bad news. Okay, there's good news because you really can make some changes, and there are products that are healthful and not hurtful. Let me just give you an example. Let's compare a conventional toothpaste with a Young Living toothpaste that is plant-based. So in the conventional toothpaste, it could have triclosan in it, which we talked about, which is also what makes it antibacterial, and that is really harmful. And that can lead to allergies, hormonal issues. It can even lead to cancer. Your conventional toothpaste also contain artificial flavors and dyes that can cause hypersensitivity. It can cause inflammation. It can disrupt the immune system. And your conventional toothpaste can also, they typically have the fluoride, which really negatively affects the brain and the central nervous system when it's ingested. So oftentimes the toothpaste will say, do not swallow. Well, duh, that's kind of hard to do when you're brushing your teeth, right? So why not use something safer? Like a plant-based, our Young Living toothpaste, it doesn't have fluoride in it. It is free of harmful peroxides, SLSs, paraffins. There's no phthalates, no mineral oil, no synthetic perfumes, no dyes, no artificial colors or flavors or preservatives. And yes, it does taste good, okay? It's infused with premium essential oils. And so it contains naturally derived ingredients, which are very gently will remove surface stains, and it'll help prevent tartar buildup and fight plaque and support healthy gums. I'll just tell you, I was going to my dentist before I was using the Young Living, and every time I went, they were complaining about my dental care, and I was like flossing and brushing and morning, evening, everything they told me. I started using the toothpaste, and now I'm going, and they're like, "This is great. Whatever you're doing, keep doing." So I did not lose anything by making this switch. Now, let me give you another example. We know that everything you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream. I learned that when I had my first child over 40 years ago. I was lathering lotion all over her hair to make the curly hair be flat. And my pediatrician said to Mother, everything you put on baby's skin go into her bloodstream. Please stop this. So I did. And I would later learn how detrimental that would be. So it really is important for us to look at the lotions, and I want you to look at what can happen if you're using a synthetic lotion versus if you use an oil-infused lotion. So the synthetic lotions, they can contain petroleum-based mineral oil, which can really irritate the skin. It can cause rashes. It can burn. They can contain parabens that can cause issues when they build up on the body inside your body. They typically contain synthetic fragrances that are made up of all kinds of harsh chemicals, and they may contain the PEGs that can cause skin irritation and a hypersensitivity reactions for many. When you use an oil-infused lotion that is plant-based, there's not going to be any paraffins, no sulfates, no phthalates, no synthetic fragrances, no colors. And the thing I really like about the Young Living is they infuse it with essential oils. So you get the benefit of the health promoting properties of the essential oils. They contain ultra moisturizing blend of plant derived oils and butters, and they're formulated to absorb quickly into the skin. So it doesn't really leave a greasy residue, but it really protects your health and your body. Now, let's talk about what's in your household cleaners, because during the pandemic, it's been disheartening to learn that there's been a 40% increase in poison control calls and a 15% increase in bleach, which we know is very toxic. But people want to be safe, okay? They were fearful, and there's so many major concerns, and we've been taught, all this stuff about bleach. And so So even as people who have these one of the major symptoms of the virus was respiratory issues, people were really scrambling to try to get the best clean products they could. And so it's really important that you know that there is a safe way to do that. And I have found that using the Thieves household products does just that. And it's interesting because the Thieves spray is one that I use instead of using like Lysol, which is very toxic. And in Singapore, it was added in their national environmental agency as the equivalent, which is the equivalent of our EPA. And they added the Thieves spray as very effective to use for safety and wellness. And so let's just talk about some differences between your conventional cleaners, that you use, and our Thieves cleaner. And I'm going to talk more here about the soap, because it comes in one bottle, and that bottle lasts forever. I'm telling you, you just use a cap full to make like a 32-ounce spray bottle. You're going to get, I think, like 30 some uses from it. So it's just so cost effective as well. But conventional cleaners really can irritate your skin, your eyes, your nose, your throat. That's what happened with me with all the cleaning that I had done before I knew this. It can be highly poisonous to humans and to animals when it's swallowed. It often contains synthetic fragrance, which can lead to reproductive and developmental toxicity, allergy, and respiratory problems. And it can contain antibacterial ingredients that can encourage the development of drug-resistant superbugs, which you don't want to happen. Our Thieves cleaner, though, provides an effective deep clean with the power of naturally derived plant-based ingredients. It's a concentrated formula. It's easy to mix. Telling you, you can use this one bottle to make almost all of the cleaners you need in your house. I think the only thing I add to it is baking soda. I use some borax, but you don't need anything else when you have this one cleaner. It's so versatile, so it helps get rid of a lot of bottles as well. It's so safe to use around your children and around your pets. And it's infused with that Young Living signature. Remember, I talked to you about the Thieves blend essential oil that had those oils in it that a lot of research has been done on its effectiveness for wellness. So there is an alternative to some of these things. Now, we talked too about how our laundry soaps are so harmful. And I'll mention this a little later, but we found that when people use, if there's nothing else you do, throw out the dryer sheets and things, because again, that is left on your clothing, that clothing you're wearing all day long, and those chemicals are going into your system all day, and you're just putting yourself so much at risk. But let's talk about the difference between conventional laundry soaps a little bit more and our Thieves laundry soap. Because conventional laundry soaps may contain 1.4 dioxane, and that can result in nausea, dizziness, headache, eye, nose, throat irritation. Again, it can have those sodium laurate sulfates in it that we know inflame skin, eyes, lungs, and it can really damage some internal organs. They typically contain optical brighteners, so they give you the sense that things are whiter, but these things really do irritate the eye, skin, and lungs. And they typically contain synthetic fragrances that can really lead to chemical sensitivity, allergic reactions, or even rashes. Whereas on the other hand, if you're using the Thieves laundry soap, you don't have to worry about any of the sulfates, no petrochemicals, no formaldehyde, no phosphates, no synthetic perfumes, no chlorine, no optical brighteners. Instead, what it uses is natural enzymes that actually combat the dirt and the stains and the strong odors. And it's formulated with a very gentle plant-based formula, so it's safe for your sensitive skin, also safe for your animals. And it's infused again with the Thieves, that blend that has many properties that are very helpful for wellness. just quickly, I want to kind of summarize a story that a mother wanted to share with us. Her daughter, Brittany, her young daughter was suddenly started developing at night about 1 o'clock every night. She would develop vomiting and nausea, and she'd wake up in the middle of the night. She had these vomiting and nausea spells, and they kind of started all of a sudden, and it started happening over a period of days and period of weeks, and it was like clockwork. She'd wake up, she'd vomit, go back, and then she'd be okay the next day. And so the mom started taking her, to the doctor and everything, and they started doing some extensive testing, and they weren't able to figure out anything, and they were wondering if it was just something emotional going with her. They talked about doing some kind of exploratory surgery. If they kept going and started to look at what was going on psychologically with her, everyone was really concerned. And then one morning, the mom, she, woke up, sent the kids off and everything. She took her shower, and about one, and it happened to be in the afternoon, about one, and she felt like she was going to vomit. She got all nauseous and everything. And it was kind of like what she had seen her daughter been doing over these several days and weeks and everything. And then she began to think about, what she had done differently that day. And what she realized is that she had run out of her regular shampoo, and she had used her daughter's shampoo that day, which she hadn't done before. Then she thought back and she realized that they had gotten a free sample of this shampoo, and her daughter had used it and liked it so much that she got her big bottle of it. And that's what she had been using during all this time. Well, they stopped using that shampoo, and immediately the vomiting episodes had stopped. And, we just think about what would have happened if she hadn't have realized that that was what it was. And they had gone through all these medical things, trying to find out what it was. And really all it was what was in that product. So it's just so important to read the labels and recognize how serious this can be. And again, it's toxic load. So something may not bother you at one point, but as your body fills up with more and more of the toxins, it isn't able to fight them as much anymore. So let's just talk about how you can get started in what we've talked about today. If nothing else, start diffusing, okay? Start clearing up your air with the pure oils that will help improve your air quality. Read your labels, know what you are putting on your body, what you're putting in your body, what you're using in your home. And then slowly begin to replace the toxic products with safe ones, just one at a time. Okay, and as I mentioned before, one place to start is fabric softeners, okay? And those dryer sheets. We just use the wool balls in our dryer. I use vinegar in the washer, and the wool balls in the dryer, put essential oils on them, and that's all that's needed. And you will do yourself such a big favor just by doing that. And before we end, I know we just have a short time here. We talked about a lot, but I want to tell you how you can really get the best thing for your deal. For your money, okay? Because that's what you really want to do. You start diffusing with the premium oils, and we've talked about just 2 or 3 that you could use. We talked about replacing your household cleaner. We talked about how budget friendly the Thieves Cleaner is. And we talked about slowly replacing your personal care items. But if you really, really, really want a deal, you'll want to try to get one of our essential oil premium starter bundles. And the reason is because you can get that. It contains a diffuser. It has 10 to 12 different oils that you get. And not only will you get the oils that help purify your air, but you're going to get oils that are going to help support your health in every system of your body. You also get a Thieves spray that comes in that. We talked about how helpful that is. You get the sanitizing hand sanitizer, which is 99.9% effective without all the toxic alcohols. You're going to get 2 samples of the amazing Nature Red, the whole food nutritional supplement that supports your whole overall wellness. And you get it at, get this, 70% discount over what it would cost you to buy everything individually. So you can do that. I just want you to know about that great deal, or you can just pick up a diffuser, pick up a couple of oils, pick up a toothpaste, and get yourself started. Let me tell you though, if you do a 100 PV order, you're going to unlock the 24% discount in your account for the year. Or if you decide that you want to order one item and you want to just start doing something monthly, replace something monthly, that automatically puts you on the loyalty program. And again, you're going to unlock the 24% discount. It's so amazing because it really allows you to just slowly swap things out as you're reading the labels and checking on things that you have in your home. You can move toward this healthier environment and stop sabotaging your health. I do so much want to thank you for being with me during this time. We know that there's so much that we don't know. We know there's so many things out of our control, but when we do know better, we can do better. And it really is time for us to stop sabotaging our own health by eliminating these toxins and investing in our mental, our physical, and our emotional health. If you want to learn more, here's my information, naturallynozella.com, or take a picture of the QR code and that will take you right where you need to be. I'd also like to invite you to do a consult with me where we can together develop the wellness program that's tailored just for you. It's normally a $50 cost, but during the summer we have what's a summer special and it's only $10, and it's on my website, naturallynozella.com. Put in the code summer special, and let's get a scan done. Let's get you scheduled and come see me. I'm so happy that you've been with me today. I want to thank you again. And I am looking forward to the many ways that you are going to stop sabotaging your health and start taking control. You deserve better. So excited. Goodbye now.